Happy morning, friends. Here's your Dr. Ajanta. Welcome to day one session. Today's session is all about getting started with Python programming. As a result, the session is dedicated to all those who are interested in learning to program, whether they are students, employees, or newbies. Python is now most widely used programming language by tech giants such as Google, Netflix, and Facebook. So if this sounds interesting, let's get started. What is Python? Gustav Van Rossum created Python, a high-level object-oriented programming language. It's also known as the multipurpose programming language because it's used in almost every domain imaginable, as like web development, software development, artificial intelligence, machine learning engineers, data analytics. So this list could go on and on, but we will look at why Python is so popular. Why Python programming? You guys might have a question in mind that why Python? Why not another programming language? So let me explain. According to a domain, each programming language has a specific purpose or use case. For an example, JavaScript is the most popular language among web developers because it allows them to manage application using different frameworks such as React, Vue, and Angular, which are used to create beautiful user interfaces. They as well as have advantages and disadvantages. So if we consider Python, it is general purpose, which means it is widely used in all domains. The reason for this is it very simple to understand and scalable, which allows for rapid development. You can see why, aside from learning Python, it doesn't require any programming knowledge, which is why it's popular among developers. Python has a syntax that is similar to that of the English language, and it allows programmer to write programming with fewer lines of code. Because it is open source, there are numerous libraries available that make the job of developers easier, resulting in increased productivity. In the digital era, where information is available in large datasets, they can easily focus on business logic and its demanding skills. How to get started with Python? So this is the place to go if you have already decided to learn Python but not sure where to begin. It can be difficult to get started should you install Python 2.7 or Python 3.10. For example, as a result, we have compiled a lot of information and helpful hints in this section to assist you in your journey. We will go over the difference between Python 2 and Python 3 in detail. See, Python 2.0 was first released in 2000 and Python 2.7, the most recent major version, was released in 2010. However, that was not the end of it. Ongoing assistance is available to this day. The developers, on the other hand, realized early on the significant changes were required to improve the language. As a result, Python 3.0 was released in December 2008. This version was primarily created to address issues that existed in Python 2. As a result, any organization that was using Python 2.x has to make a lot of changes and put it into a lot of effort to migrate to Python 3.x. As a result, many businesses have decided to stick with version 2 and develop new libraries for it. And Python 2 supports was maintained. However, even everything must come to an end at some point. As a result, the developers has announced that Python 2 will be phased out on January 1, 2020. So version will no longer receive updates or supports after this date. And anyone using it should upgrade to Python 3 as soon as possible. Python 3 is the clear future direction and it is the version that every newcomer should choose. However, if your company has a Python 2 projects or you need to work with a third-party library that is only compatible with Python 2, you will need to understand difference between the both the versions. What are the various Python career paths? See, Python proficiency is one of the most in-demand skills in the tech and data science fields. Here are fewer of the most career options for the development experts. So Python developer, for anyone who knows Python, this is the most obvious option. Python programmer use it for a wide range of tasks including website development and data algorithm optimization, as well as data analysis and security and data protection. So this programming language is also ideal for writing testable, reusable and extremely efficient code. Next comes the machine learning engineering. One of the most important skills for machine learning engineers is Python knowledge. Continuous data processing is required for machine learning, and Python's excellent library ecosystem is undoubtedly up to the task. It's no surprise that machine learning engineers prefer Python library for data access and transformation, as well as the basic machine learning algorithm like clustering, regressions, and classifications. Next, the data scientist. Python is the language of choice for statistical modeling. It is the preferred programming language of approximately 68% of data scientists. Next, data analyst. So Python is one of the best language for dealing with large amount of data, cleaning it and processing it for analysis, all of which the data analyst does frequently. And when compared to other more complex tools, Python makes it possible for them to do all of this quickly. Data engineer. Data engineer can use Python's rich libraries to access database and storage technology. So data engineers also use it to create an ETL framework as well as to interact with APIs and automate process. Overall, Python is a powerful and engineers to solve problems quickly and effectively. Last but not least, data architect. So data architects write advanced Python scripts to analyze, clean, and transform large data sets in order to prepare them for use in business intelligence, analytics, and financial modeling. However, it's all only one of the skills you will need if you want to succeed in the industry. However, if you want to learn more about what it takes to start a data science or machine learning and so on, make subscribe. How long does it take to learn Python fundamentals? See, actually, it is the one which most persons would ask. It's possible to learn the fundamental of Python in 2 to 6 months. Though this will vary depending on how much time you devote to learn. You could complete the specialization in 2 months if you can devote at least 1 hour per day to do it. You can expect to learn the some of the following or some variables and types, objects and data structures, indexing, slicing, comparison operators, or as like for loops, while loop functions, list, dictionaries, tuples, and classes, objects, application programming. After you have gained a basic understanding of Python, you can start applying your programming skills towards your own specific goal. So, such as a job as a data analyst or application developer or a ability to automate tasks at work. All right, friends, as being the first day, today, this is where the first day session comes to close. I hope you enjoyed this post and gained an understanding of what Python is all about in a nutshell, which will provide you with small guidance as you begin your journey into a programming world. We'll talk about how to set up Python on various platforms in our next session. Please feel free to ask any questions you may have and I will respond as soon as possible. You can share this tutorial using the share button if you found it safe. Stay up to date with our latest session by subscribing to our channel. Thank you.